In this video, we talk about how to deal with price shoppers and cheaper competitors. This video was filmed live and people were able to ask questions and have the opportunity to have them answered live. This is now recorded and popped onto YouTube, but if you want to make sure you don't miss out on any more live videos, go to the link in the description below. That way you'll be notified when the next live video is. But you can still ask questions here, comment on the YouTube video below, and we will get back to you. Enjoy the video and I'll catch you in the next one. So I'm going to chat about 4 things today. So the main topic is how to tackle your cleaning competitors. And there's 4 things that we're going to talk about. The first is how to deal with cheap competitors. It's something that comes up in forums all the time. Whenever I'm on the phone to cleaning companies, it's always a gripe that people have. I totally get it. We're going to talk about how to deal with the price competitiveness that is in your area. The second thing, I've got this on my notes here, is why you need to stop worrying about your competitors. So that's going to be a big one. We're going to talk about why you need to just stop altogether. The third is why you sitting at home, why you are the secret sales weapon to your business. And that sounds really cheesy, but I really mean that. You are your secret sales weapon. And lastly, we're going to talk about what to say if a customer says, I've got a cheaper price elsewhere, or I'm not going to go with you because someone's given me a cheaper price. We've all heard that being said before, right? That someone has gone to another company because they were cheaper. I'm going to give you some tips, but I'm also going to give you a near perfect script on things that you can say that won't convert everyone, but will convert some to choosing to go with you. Hi everyone that's joined. I'm just going to say some hellos and then let's crack into them 4 things that I just said of how to tackle your cleaning competitors. So hello Alan, another Neil, Kieran, John, Adam, Joseph and Lorraine. It's so nice to see you all here. Let's get cracking with tip 1, how to deal with cheap competitors. I've got some notes just here just so that I don't forget anything. So if I'm looking down, it's not at my shoes, it's at my notes. So the first is wherever you are based, wherever your cleaning company is, there will be cheaper people out there. There always will. There will always be someone that will work for a cheaper price than you. If you say that you're going to charge £100 an hour, someone will do it at 99. If you say you're going to charge £1 an hour, someone will do it at 99 pence or 99 cents. That is just the way the world works. We're all really worried about the people that are cheaper than us. And I can understand that because you will get some feedback from your customers or your people inquiring about a price that will say, I've found someone cheaper. But there will always be someone cheaper and they will always find them because how accessible are we all now? You hop onto the computer, to a phone directory and you can find someone and yeah, of course there'll be people cheaper. So how do you deal with these people? Well, I think it's really simple. You stop competing on price. There is so many products, if you think about it for any business, where there is a cheap version, an expensive version, an even more expensive version. That happens all the time. If you think about going into a laptop shop, you'll be able to pick up a laptop for 100 quid. You can also pick up a laptop for 1,800 quid. And people are buying both of them. So stop worrying about the £100 laptop or the cheap cleaner because you are the more expensive one. So stop competing on price. Easier said than done when people are ringing you up saying, but I found a cheaper quote somewhere else. So if you're not competing on price, how do you swivel the conversation to something else? Well, you need to decide what is your unique selling point. And this is going to be different for everyone that's joined this call. It's going to be different for Jeremy, for Lorraine, for Alan, for Malcolm, for Neil, Andrew, all of you that are here. All your unique selling points are going to be different. So what you really need to do is just have a think about what sets you apart from all the other cleaners in your industry that you can start with. But this is a really personal thing that you just need to think. And some people it'll come straight to them. Others, let's just sit down with a piece of paper and work this out. What is your unique selling point? Is it that you're a family business? Is it that you use environmentally friendly products? Is it that you've been trained by the best and you've invested in really, really thorough training? Is it that you've bought amazing equipment? Is it the results that you get for people? Is it, and this one I really like, is it the way you make customers feel? Yeah, anyone could come and do a cleaning job, and anyone could do a pretty decent job. But if you could make customers feel a certain way, you make them feel special, they leave your house feeling really good, people will keep coming back to you. So think about what your unique selling point is. And this, everyone can have different ones. And that's when you can kind of stop worrying about your competitors. Because if one guy says, I'm going to focus on environmentally friendly cleaning products, and another guy's going to focus on the fact that he makes all of his customers feel warm and tingly because he brings little old ladies a pint of milk, and he offers to clean the doormat on the way out, and he will check in on you, have a cup of tea for 5 minutes, then things that make them feel good. That's totally different to someone offering an environmentally friendly product. And there are customers for both of you. Now, you can only think about this in another example. I feel it's a lot easier to take a step back from the cleaning industry to think about what you would choose if you were looking for another business. So what I mean by this is we're all cleaners and we're all a little bit too close to the industry. Imagine for a second that you're hiring a builder to come and put a conservatory on your back of your house. What are the factors for choosing that person? Actually think about that, because when you just literally change the person from a cleaner to a different trades industry or a different service person, you can start to think, well, I'd like it if, they treated their employees fair. I'd like it if they were friendly. I'd like it if they text me before they turn up for a job. I'd like it if the person that answered the phone was really friendly and talked through the whole job. And you can see that if you went to 5 other builders, there might be one that sticks out, and it might be all of these factors. Well, start doing these things. Start being all of these things to your cleaning customers. I think that's just such a good tip, and it's something that no matter how experienced you are in the cleaning industry, if you can just take a step back from your business and think, how do I want customers to feel, you are going to make that difference. Thanks everyone for joining. If you want to ask questions along the way, feel free to. Neil, your pure good looks, I'm sure that'll get you some of the way. I have heard of cleaning businesses that have hired beautiful ladies, but I'm sure there's even more unique selling points that you've got. So think about your unique selling points, and once you've done that, it's then time to maximize that. There will be people that when you call will say, I found someone cheaper. But I want you to focus on the people that you want as customers that will really value the fact that you're a family business, that you make customers feel special, that you use environmentally friendly products, whatever that is. We're going to start focusing on them customers because there is enough of them to not have to bother with the price shoppers. Doesn't that sound really effective if you just didn't have to bother with the price shoppers? If when a price shopper called, you actually weren't fazed if they hung up the phone because you've got some loyal customers that care about your unique selling points. How nice would that be to be in that position? Well, it's really easy by just really maximizing them unique selling points. Thanks everyone for joining. I am reading your questions and I am going to answer them a little bit later on. So you've decided on your unique selling point. Now it's time to really maximize that. So how are you going to get across your message of what products you're using? Use social media, use your website, and really keep that message of whatever your unique selling point is throughout all of your marketing materials. And that way you're going to start attracting your type of customers. I'm going to use the example of environmentally friendly products. If you use that on all of your marketing material, if it's impossible for someone to know about your company and not know that you use environmentally friendly products because you're making sure that marketing is so interlaced with everything that you do, then you will start to attract the people that want your particular service. So they might look on 5 different websites, but the second they see that you use environmentally friendly products, if their values align with you, they are going to pick up the phone and use you. Jeremy, you've just said, how do you reply to when someone says, you're too dear? I'm definitely going to come on to that. But for now, Jeremy, if you're focusing on your unique selling points, whether that's environmentally friendly products like the example I just used, family business, etc. Whatever it is, plaster it all over your marketing, and you are already going to get the people that value your service picking up the phone and ringing you. The next step then is, what do you do when someone says, yeah, but I found someone else cheaper? Does anyone have any, I'd be really interested, does anyone have any things that they do say to that already? If you are being really true to your values, you can start to use them as your weapon for when someone says, I've found someone a bit cheaper. So how you use that as your weapon is, I want you to first not even think about your competitors. I want you to imagine that they are not in the image, because when people say, yeah, but I found a guy that's £60, it's really easy to then say, well, I'll do it for £59, or, you know, I can only go to 70. And right there, you've just devalued your service. Do you see how you've gone from, you know, I'm really valuable, I use environmentally clean products, whatever your unique selling point is, and that's why I'm happy to charge £200, £300, whatever. The second you knock down on price to the price competitor, you've just devalued your service and said that I'm happy to work for half the price. Instead, don't ever compete on prices. Instead, think about ways that, rather than insulting your competitors, you can put a seed of doubt in your customer's mind by highlighting your unique selling points. So when a customer says, hi, what's the price? It's 60 quid. I found someone cheaper. You can say, oh, well, have you asked the other guy whether he's fully insured? No, I've not asked that. Have you asked him whether he uses environmentally clean products, if that's what you use? No, I didn't think to ask that. Well, be sure to ask him about being insured, because if you're not insured, you know, you could cause damage and that could be for you. Did you ask if he was fully trained? No, I didn't check that. Well, here's the value of being fully trained. And you've just steered the conversation. You're not insulting your competitor, because you're not saying he's not trained or he's not insured. You're saying, have you asked this question? No. Well, make sure you ask it because, and when you say that because, and then you say all of your valuable things, because being professionally trained means that you won't shrink the carpets, or you won't use harmful products. You'll make sure that you're not going to cause as many damages, because you know which solutions go with what. When you steer that conversation to your valuableness, you're convincing a customer that was so set on price that price isn't the important thing. So I'm going to say that one more time, because I think that that is so important. When someone rings and says, I've found someone cheaper, ask a question of, does the cheaper guy offer, and then talk about your unique selling points, offer full business insurance, offer, is he fully trained, is he using environmentally clean products, is he paying his employees a correct wage? No, actually I didn't ask him that. Well, here's the value of using these valuable things. So here's the value of environmentally clean products, here's the value of being fully insured. And right there, a conversation that could have lasted 2 minutes, I found someone cheaper, goodbye, has then been steered onto why you're so valuable, and you're then in a conversation about how valuable your services are. And you've just gone from every other person where they're going price, 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 cheapest price, to price, price, price. Oh, there's something special about that. You're educated about the cleaning market, and then they can choose who to go with, which if they align with your values, they're going to choose you, because no one else has taken the time to educate them on the importance of choosing a cleaner like yourself. Does that make sense to everyone? Can I get a thumbs up if that makes sense to people? I can see the thumbs up appearing on the video. So can I get a thumbs up if that makes sense, and if anyone fancies trying that? Thanks, guys. I am going to read some of the comments, and I'm going to come back to my points in a second. I can offer an Jared, I think your unique selling point. So Jared said, our main goal when we set up our business was to offer exceptional 5-star customer service, backed up with more independent reviews than any other company. That's his main USP. So Jared, how your call could work is, I've found a guy that's cheaper than you. Okay, well, has he got 5-star reviews? No, I didn't think to check that. Well, let me tell you why why we're so proud of our 5-star reviews. They're all from people that live in your area. We've not pushed them to give us 5-star reviews. They've gone out of their way. And you know, I'm being modest here, but the only reason that they've gone out of the way is because they were so happy with our service. Don't take my word for it. You can take all of our customers. Now, I don't mind who you go with. You can go with that guy or the other one, but do feel free to read some of our reviews before you choose, because I would like a trusted local person who your neighbours back up to be in your house, rather than someone that could have set up a business a couple of weeks ago. And that way you've not insulted your competitor because you don't know who your competitor is. You've just put a seed of doubt in your customers' eyes, and then you've educated them on the value of your service. I'm going to read some more other things. On sofa cleaning, I always ask how much did they pay for the sofa. Okay, so Peter has said, Peter's my dad, so I actually know this script because he uses it all the time when he's on the phone. If somebody says, I found someone cheaper, they'll pay 60 quid to clean my sofa. One thing that Peter does, which really steers the conversation again to value, is say, how much did you pay for your sofa? And people will say, oh, I paid £3,000 for it. Oh, so you really invested some good money into it and you want it looking after. And they're thinking, yeah. And that's when you can then steer the conversation into, we completely understand investing good money into things. We invest money into training and great equipment, and as a result we can get a good job. You must know that because you invest money into your home. And again, what Peter's done there by saying, what did you pay? And someone's giving a good price, is the conversation is no longer on the price of the job. It's on the value you can offer, because they're saying, hang on, I paid a lot for my sofa. So the conversation then goes to, well, I should go with someone who has similar values, someone that pays a lot for their training, for their equipment. We are both interested in high value things, so I should choose them. It's a really clever way of, you're starting a conversation and you're agreeing on something. You've got something of mutual ground. Neil, find the EOT work is all determined by prices. No. Neil has just said the end of tenancy work is always determined by price. So Neil, end of tenancy is a little bit trickier because people aren't valuing the property as much because they're moving out of it. There is a place for end of tenancy if you can get in with the landlords, because they obviously value the property. But if it is the case that someone has to clean the property before they move out, it's not their home and they're not going to care about all them values we talked about, the fully insured, fully trained, environmentally clean, the same, because it's not their baby when they leave that house. So I understand what you mean, but maybe go from a different angle and speak to the landlords, the ones that would value the property being cleaned in a certain way, or think about moving your target audience that it aligns with whatever your values are, Neil. The more people that you can find that believe in the things that you offer, the easier selling's going to be, and that's when you can start forgetting about them price shoppers and start thinking about the customers that you want to nurture. Jeremy said the main issue for him is how much the customer has to spend on cleaning them. Jeremy, can you elaborate on this? And I think I'm going to answer in what I think you mean, but do just tell me if I've got this a little bit wrong. Do you mean that the customer doesn't have a huge budget for cleaning? If so, you need to educate them better, because everybody has a pot of money to spend on holidays, nice meals out, cleaning the house, nice trainers. If you can educate them on a bit more of that pot of money should be spent with cleaning, by educating them on the things that matter to you and matter to them, like we use products that are safe for your children and your pets. We create a safer home, a cleaner home. Your environment is a lot happier. Them things that might make them think, oh, that's actually a really selling thing. Maybe instead of going for a meal out, they can have a takeout in our beautifully clean home. Do you see how you've just moved their pot of money into your hands by just educating them that this job you do is valuable? I hope that makes sense, Jeremy, but oh yeah, I think you've just said what I mean is they only have a certain amount to spend. So exactly that. Everybody has a certain amount to spend because they get paid their wages at the end of the month. You want to make sure that they really value your services and they choose to spend a bigger pot of their money with you. But also, you know, like, believe in your services. If you're doing a fantastic job, you are fully trained, you are using the high-end equipment, there's no reason why you shouldn't be asking for a bit more, because you are making people's homes healthier, happier, a nicer place to be in. So it kind of works in a full circle. If you can charge more, and people will be willing to pay it because you're educating them on the reasons that you truly believe in. I am going to go back to my 2 points. So what we have just spoken about, which I said at the beginning of this call, was why you shouldn't be competing on price. And the second thing we spoke about was what to say if a customer says, hang on, I've found it cheaper elsewhere. So we've got them two covered. The next thing I want to speak to you about is why you are your best sales weapon. Now, I truly believe that people will always buy from people. It's an age-old saying, but it is so true. If you go into a shop and you have a bad experience, even if the price was right and you're going to get an okay product, you're not going to go back to that shop. If you go into a different shop and you have a really wonderful experience, the price might be slightly more, but you'd be happy to pay it. So an example that I like to use is, if I could, I would always fly Virgin rather than any other one. Reason being is I get a warm, tingly feeling when I fly Virgin, and I will actually choose to fly on a Virgin plane if it's more expensive because a customer makes me feel great and I'm buying into the people. You can do that with your cleaning business. So people buy from people, and this is why you're your secret weapon, because you are such a good salesperson. You believe in the product that you're selling to people, right? Well, use that to your advantage. Rather than giving a quick price over the phone, putting the phone down, be in front of people. Now, I'm going to stop some objections that I'm already going to get. I know you can't be in a million places at once, and I know that there's only a certain amount of day that you can be in front of people, but let me tell you why prioritizing that is such a big deal, and then let's look at ways that we can maximize being in front of more people. So first, get in front of people. Networking events is a great way to get in front of people, and if you're speaking to people one-on-one and you're engaging, they're much more likely to choose you as their cleaner than someone that they've just picked up the phone. Similarly, go and quote in person for jobs. If you make it seem like the norm that when someone says, how much is it to get my carpet cleaned, you say, I'll pop round tomorrow and give you a price, I just need to measure up. You're in front of that person. The two great things about being in front of that person is you've just booked in a quote with them, so they're less likely to phone 5 other people and get another price because you've made a small commitment that you're going to come over and give them a quote. So if already you've just batted away a load of price shopping, a load of your competitors that the customer's going to look at. Secondly, when you're in front of a person, it is so much easier to sell. You're a lovely person. You're in their home. You're engaging with them on a human level, and people will buy from people. Also, when you're in front of someone, all them values that we spoke about at the beginning of this call, so that you're family business, that you're environmentally friendly, whatever that is, people will see the passion in what you offer. And when you're in front of someone, it's so much easier to convert a job. Now, I know people will say, how do I go and quote for all of my jobs when I'm spending all my time doing the cleaning? If you're an owner and operator, I totally understand the problem you're having here. I get it. But there are ways that you can get yourself out to more people. So one way that I think works really well, and you'll know that I think this works really well, is video. I mean, I've got some wonderful people on this call right now, but some of them I've never met in real life, but I engage with them on video all the time and they really feel like they know me. So why not start doing videos for your company and talking about your values? I talk about my values on here all the time. I want small local businesses, hardworking people to do well. And that's why I offer free advice all the time. Why don't you do the same for your business? If you're a family business, why not have little videos where you've got you and little Johnny on your lap and the dog in the car all going to do a job, or I've seen some fantastic videos where they've had like the kids helping in the rug spas when they're cleaning rugs. If that's your USP, maximize it and make videos. And that way you don't have to just get out to one person. You can get your message out to hundreds. I hope that helps, because I just find that such a powerful mechanism. I mean, everybody that's on here, I feel like I know them, and I really think that some of you feel like you know me as well, and that is the power of video. So yes, get yourself out there as much as you can, because people buy from people. Then my third point of why you need to stop worrying and about your competitors is you truly don't know anyone's situation. Someone can look fantastic online, or someone can seem really busy, but you have no idea what's going on behind closed doors. So stop worrying about your competitors. That sounds a really simple one, but stop. Just stop worrying. I think my perfect analogy could be from the Grand National. For any of the US customers that are listening to this, the Grand National is a huge horse race that happens in England, and it was just this Saturday. I was watching the National this weekend, and I could see that the main horse, the one that won, the one that I didn't bet on, the main horse was running, and not for 1 second did he take his eyes off the finishing line. He didn't turn around and think, I wonder what all these other horses are doing. Oh, I wonder if that horse is winning the race, or that one. Same thing. Stop worrying about what that horse or that cheap carpet cleaner or that cleaning business is doing. Just focus on the finishing race, because you don't get anywhere by looking backwards. Your competitors could be doing some fantastic things, but there is enough houses and enough commercial properties and enough people for everybody to be doing enough jobs. I really believe that, but you've got to sell yourself in the way that focuses just on your values. I'm going to stop preaching for a second, and I'm going to look in the comments. If you have some questions, pop them below now. I'm going to stick online for another 10 minutes and answer anyone's questions. So pop them in there now, and I'm going to start reading some of your lovely questions. Oh gosh, this list has got so long. Anyone that's put some questions a little while ago, I think it's gone too far to the top for me to read. So if you want to re-put them in there, I'll make sure I can answer them live. Kevin Gare said that he tells people he's wool safe and he's been in the business for 30 years. They're fantastic, unique selling points. The fact that you're certified with great products and the fact that you have experience is your unique selling point. So start maximizing that. When someone says, I found someone for cheaper than you, ask them, how long have they been set up? Are they using products that are safe to use? And that's when you can sow that seed of doubt. You know that, Kevin. I'd love you to try that tomorrow with a price shopper and tell me what happens. I can offer an unbeatable gleams rapid. Jeremy, great comment. See what else we got in here. Neil Webber has said that for end of tenancy cleanings, we say we've never had a deposit returned by the agent. That is a fantastic way to kind of keep it on the topic of price, because they're thinking about price of the deposit, but it is still value because you're talking about your results and your job rather than go with me because I'm cheaper than the next guy. I really like that tip, Neil. Great one. Angela has also put some fantastic tips for some end of tenancy cleanings. You guys are great. I love that a community can talk here and swap tips. I find that so amazing. Scott and Kevin both say that they always meet a customer. Love that. Heidi, what have you said about end of tenancy? Exactly that. So Heidi said two fantastic points. For end of tenancy, focus on the landlords and the estate agents. They're the ones that aren't focused on price. They're more focused on reliability. They're running, a tight ship where they've got lots of things to do, and they want someone that turns up on time, someone that's going to be reliable and trusted. And that's what Heidi's doing. That's how she's managed to build a full portfolio. And another fantastic point that Heidi said is don't be scared to sack bad clients. I would add to that, don't be scared to turn price shoppers away. If you can't convert people from speaking about your values, they probably aren't supposed to be your customer anyway. There will always be some people that are fixated on price, even if you say your fantastic points. If that's the case, they're going to at every step trying to chip you away at a price here, pick you up on something here. You all know what customers I'm talking about. It's okay if you're saying no to them, because you're starting to focus on people that are more aligned to your values, the ones that care that your unique selling points are unique to you. Perfect. Is there any other questions? Because if not, I'm going to let you all get back to your families or your soap operas or your dinner. I really appreciate you guys tuning in at 7:30 to chat about your business. I think it's so powerful that people are so switched on about their business this late at night. It's great. Neil, yes, this video will be available later on. But thank you guys, I really appreciate you tuning in. As Neil's just asked, the video will be available on our Facebook page, and you can continue to ask comments there and I will type an answer out. I hope this has been really valuable, and the key takeaways should be stop competing on price, think about your values. When somebody calls and says, hey, I found a cheaper guy over there, think about, rather than insulting your competitor, sow a seed of doubt in your customer's mind. Well, are they fully insured? No. Well, here's the value of being fully insured, and get the conversation back onto your values rather than price. A conversation about price is just a table tennis match, and that's not what you want to be in. Don't be afraid to ditch the people that are only ever going to be focused on price. There will always be some of them, and they're not the perfect customers to deal with. In fact, you'll probably have more nightmares with them the further you go. And lastly, stick in your lane. Like I said about the Grand National, you don't know what's happening with your competitors. They might have fantastic reviews, cheap prices, loads of customers. You don't know. That's all you're seeing on the surface level. You don't know how hard they're working. You don't know what prices they're charging, whether they can afford rent at the end of the month. Instead, stick on your lane and just focus on your goals, which is building a cleaning business and a life that brings you loads of joy. Thanks everyone for sticking for the video, and if you want the replay, it's going to be available on my Facebook page, and have a lovely rest of your Tuesday evening. Speak to you later. Bye bye.